Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Northside Square. Today is April 4th. It's a cool but pleasant and sunny Thursday morning. And today I'm joined by our CEO, Roshun Austin of The Works Incorporated. So we're here to talk about a little bit of the impact that's taking place here at Northside Square. And so, Roshun, we were talking off camera earlier kind of about the impact and what Northside Square as an investment, as a massive development here in the heart of the Klondike community in Memphis, what it means overall, and kind of the impact that we're seeing not only locally but nationwide. So can you just share with us some of the feedback that you've gotten and some of the interest that you've heard about?
Yeah, Quincy, thank you. So I think this is an example, it's a perfect example, is you can't see the forest for the trees. And so we're on the ground in Memphis, and we're getting pretty positive responses here locally, but nationally, the number of financial institutions, individuals and companies in the development community, and really there's some international interest in the magnitude of this project in the U.S. development community, but specifically in a community that has seen disinvestment, that is a Black community, established as a Black community. And so that's what I mean by not being able to see the forest for the trees. We use numbers like 78 million, and I don't know if people think about that.
Right.
78 million is a huge investment in rebuilding a 300,000 square foot building in the middle of one of the lowest income communities in our city, and it's been that way for some time now. And then on top of that 78 million, we're bringing 48 million of that is sponsors equity, and so it's from a philanthropic source. And so when you just look at those numbers to say that philanthropy is going to make that type of investment in a Black community, it is unheard of across the U.S. And so we're getting calls and emails and requests to interview and serve on panels at a national level, more than we're seeing it locally. It is very impactful. The work that we're attempting to do, not only in Northside, but larger in the Klondike community. And we're trying to do all of this without displacing. And so we were talking the other day about, we just look at the numbers over the last year. Klondike had a 25% ownership rate. It is now 27%. Thanks to our efforts with our community land trust, we've sold enough houses to already change it 2%. People understand how impactful that is. 2% in a year. That you've done enough work outside of this building and this investment in a neighborhood to change it 2 percentage points.
And so, Roshun, what do you think that means in terms of the potential additional job investment? I know we have things like the Good Neighbor Grant coming on here in Klondike. There's some opportunities for businesses, commercial development to take advantage of that. But isn't there a larger potential impact as other people see this type of investment being made? They see the other things that are happening that you mentioned. I mean, it could grow larger, right? I mean, this could mean bigger and better for not only Klondike, but all of them. Because overall, we think this thing will spread. We hope it spreads like wildfire.
I hope that this model, Quincy, is replicable, not just across Memphis neighborhoods that have seen this investment, but it's a model that we can use across the country.
Nice.
Because it's a model that equals investment, and I keep saying less displacement. There are rumors, people always say, well, they're displacing people. That's just the opposite of what we're doing. That is our number one tenet in this work, is zero displacement. We want people who have lived here before, who now have an interest to move back. And we want them to have opportunities for different housing types. We want them to have opportunities to start their businesses or expand their businesses, because that zero displacement just doesn't speak to the residential component. We're talking about renters, owners, even maybe expanding our model or how we think about ownership of residential properties in co-ops. At least, we think about that nationally, but in Memphis, you don't really see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then for small business owners, for mom and pops to be able to stay without having increases in their rents, and encourage new entrepreneurs to start businesses here and really build a thriving neighborhood. And so our model is, we hope, our plan is that our model will be replicated across Black neighborhoods that have experienced or are still living out the vestiges of bad government policy like urban renewal and the interstate highway and redlining. We hope that we can turn that around, and hopefully this work leads to policy change at the local and national level.
So, Roshun, one of the things we were talking about this potentially being a nationwide model, and as we talk about the redevelopment of inner city neighborhoods, we know that there are thousands and thousands of other Klondike stores across the U.S. So one of the things, obviously, we have an advantage of is bringing attention to the work that we're doing here in Klondike, and then hopefully showing other CDCs or other potential developers and other potential lenders who should be making this type of investment that this can be done. If it can happen in Memphis and it can happen in Klondike, it can happen in other cities across the country as well.
That's right, and if it can happen in Klondike in Memphis, it can happen throughout any neighborhood in Memphis.
Yeah.
And it is a good bet. It's a great investment on the part of those providing equity or those providing debt. And so that's the story we also want to tell, that this is a good investment. You get the return, whatever that return is on your investment, whether it's a financial return. And as important to me is the return on the quality of life for the people that we're trying to serve. Because at the end of the day, I could choose to be in a market rate development world and just do big shiny projects, but we're choosing to do a project in a neighborhood that nobody believes in. Some people, well, the people that live here believe in it, but the lending institution or the financial sector doesn't believe in it. Sometimes philanthropic sources don't believe in it. And so we're choosing to say we believe in this neighborhood, we believe in this project, we believe in the people that reside here and the people who will come.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in again this week on Northside Square. I want to encourage you to please send us your questions, your comments. We do read them. We do often offer feedback, and we answer some of those questions as we videotape and as we record here. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you again next week here at Northside Square.